my sexy muffins, and welcome back to another video. By your votes, you guys wanted to see me talk about One Piece live action. So, spoilers, there's going to be spoilers in this. If you don't want to see the spoilers, skip this video until you watch it and come back if you want to see my opinion on it and all that stuff. Disclaimer there. Now, the One Piece season 1 was great. I've seen a live action movie or something, or I can't remember if it's a movie or a TV show of Bleach season 1, and it was dog poo compared to One Piece. Like, a lot of anime live actions don't hit really well for me, at least personally. Some people might like them, but they never hit well where I don't think they're very good, or I get in as engaged and obsessed with them as I did. Now, One Piece live action season 1 was phenomenal, in my opinion. And here is why. Because it had all the characters, it had a limited budget. Netflix was giving it a limited budget. It wasn't like a big anime thing where they could, but they also did on things that came to be later. Like later we figured out that Lucy's related to Vice Admiral in the anime series and all that, and that Kobe ended up becoming, and also that what's his face haircut, the guy who taunted Zoro in the show and got his hair cut really bad. All of those came back, I think, later in the manga or in the anime series, as proper things, and they show the progression of that. This is what, and also they use characters over and over that made sense, like Buggy becoming repeated. That's a good way to budget. If you have a limited budget and you can only afford a certain amount of actors for a certain amount of time, you want to use the ones that are iconic, like Buggy and Arlong, and use them repeatedly instead of the short-lived things, and also the overarching arcs of the season. So, using Buggy more often and focusing on Arlong instead of the one with that Mihawk was fighting. And sorry, I always called him Hawkeye Mihawk. I don't know if that's his name. I might be wrong, but I always called it as a kid, so I apologize. I think it's because he had hawk eyes and I was obsessed with that. So if I get that wrong, I apologize. But Mihawk is very much good character in this. Like, the casting was phenomenal. Usually I don't like Usopp myself, but his character was much better in this, and then instead of the anime and manga. So I really liked him much more than I would usually. Now, Nami's character was the overarching character that was happening, and she was phenomenal. I didn't like her child character. It just didn't fit for who she was. I think they could have gone more into her flashbacks and stuff, and also had the village knowing what she was doing. But it was very well written so far. Now, Luffy is, there are a few things that he says that are kind of cringe for me personally. That I go like, ooh, but Luffy is very good character for who he is, but he also seems a bit more spacey than even the anime, which is a big leap. But still, fantastic casting. I also love the diversity in the casting, where they got darker skinned characters, and also talked about, because that's why I always found odd in the anime of first season anime when we are met to Arlong and such. I always thought there would be a type of race issue with fishmen and people, and how that dynamic is. So I love that they touched on it and also made Arlong have a complex with it, because that gave him why he was trying to take over the East Blue, and gave him motivation instead of just being a pirate, which added depth and stuff. Also, I love the psychopathy of Buggy. I hate how he looks, but oh my god, I love it. Fictional psychopaths are amazing. In fiction, not real life. So I really love the season, and I binged it. I never binge shows. I like watch one or two shows, then stop for weeks on end, then come back to it. So for me to binge an entire season in one sitting, over 8 hours, because I had to pause it to do laundry and stuff, but in one sitting back to back, is phenomenal. I literally didn't get any sleep either because I was so obsessed and manic because of it. So it was very good. Now, what did I not like? Okay, the only thing I really did not like was a couple of the things being changed. I know it worked better for the plot and for it to make sense, but it deviated a bit from the anime from stuff that I really, really liked, but also what they did with a tight budget. Like the cook and the maid in the Clawhador and Kuro episodes were very, very, very good. But I missed that the whole piracy didn't invade. But it also makes more sense that he would have kept a few people close that he knew instead of bringing his whole crew with him. So it makes sense. But it's my childhood, and it's hard to accept that, but it still makes sense. The plot was amazing. They made do with such a low budget, so for such a low budget for what it could have been. Because if it was, this is live action. If they got hundreds and hundreds of extras to be pirate crews, it would have been a ridiculous paycheck for all those actors to be there and extras to be there. So limited in the cast was phenomenal choice making, and also getting all the episodes in arc one or season one or whatever you want to call it in 8 episodes and doing this well with it, phenomenal. I cannot praise. I also told my younger sister, to watch this because she loves One Piece and has almost watched the entire anime. I haven't gotten past a certain point because it is daunting to do that. So being able to watch the live action and stay up with it without having to worry about being behind on it is phenomenal too. And also, I love the little changes in some of the plot that has done more character development. Like they haven't left characters behind. Like Zeph, they came back to Zeph when they were tracking down Luffy and stuff. And it added more to his character as well. Added more depth to the characters. Using a limited cast also let us get to know the characters more instead of doing a new villain every single time. And then wrapping up where Alvida and Buggy were saying they were going to unalive Luffy and all that stuff is also really good because it brought it back to the beginning and how everyone who knew Luffy figured out Luffy is now a wanted pirate and that they're going to be gunning for him since he has the map. So it brought everything together from his first wish of wanting to be on a wanted poster to getting what he wanted, which was great. And also, he has the biggest bounty in the East Blue, which is, oof, that's a big stuff. Also, I loved that they made Zoro, because a lot of people assumed for certain things that, at least in my circles of when I heard about the live action, which this may not be correct, so I'm not saying everyone, thought Zoro would be less Asian. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I love that he's more Asian because it goes back to his roots of his origins and character and makes more sense for him to be Asian. I don't know what Asian because it's a fictional world. It could be a different type of Asian, but his actor is Asian American or Asian. I don't know. I don't pay attention to actors, so I don't know. So I apologize if I'm incorrect. But yes, it is phenomenal that they had that, and also the backstory for Zoro was great. I loved it. It was more emotional to me than the anime one where she grabbed her boob in the anime, but it was more emotional, and I actually teared up a bit when she passed away. It hurt me. It hurt me because I love Zoro, and also Shanji with his legs. Oh my god, them legs! He's adult fun time on legs, basically. And last thing, Mihawk literally looks like a high def live action anime man. Like when I first saw him, I was like, "Are we in a live action realism anime?" That's what he looks like, and that is such good, so good, so good. Anyways, I hope that you all enjoyed this. If you would like to see more, comment below what you would like to see, and I will do my best to do it. I will be doing a smash and pass of One Piece Season 1 characters, so keep your eye out for that and all that good stuff. This will be posted today on the 23rd, and I will get to the Husk from Hazbin Hotel as soon as possible as a yandere as soon as possible. Anyways, I hope that you all enjoyed and stay sexy, all my sexy muffins. Bye bye. Secret outro time. Secret outro time. Secret outro time. So, secret outro question of the day is: what was your favorite part of season 1? Mine had to be where Luffy destroyed Nami's room because that was so emotional and stuff. Anyways, I hope that you all enjoyed this and stay sexy, all my sexy muffins. Bye bye.